Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we have 10 different ideas for your Insta stories. I hope you like them. I really enjoyed making them, and let's get on with the video. So starting off with the first picture, I decided to go for a really trendy look that I've seen going on lately on social media. And basically what I did was just draw around some curves, some waves, using colors that were already similar to the ones in the picture. So I used a palette of 3 different kinds of pink, going from the darkest shade to the lightest shade, basically a gradient. And yeah, that's what I did. As you can tell, this can take some time, but once you're done, it just gives it a nice touch and a unique look to it. After I was done with the curves, I decided to put in a few dots here and there just to make it look a little more sparkly and pretty. Obviously, you don't have to do this, it's optional, all of this is optional, but I just thought it would be a great idea. For a last touch, I just added some stars and we're done with the first look. Moving on to our second look. For this look, I decided to write the word happy a bunch of times and then just put it around the heading of the picture. After I was done with the first line, I repeated the same thing a couple of times until I got my final look. To finish off this look, I just wrote the word happy in a different font and I placed it right in the middle of the heading. I also threw in a couple of stars to fill in the empty spaces in the picture. And now we are on to our third look. As you can tell, I just wrote the word grease. For the G, I used one of the fonts on Instagram, and for the rest of the word, I just wrote it by myself. After I was done, I just drew a line across the word and I started typing grease again with the spaces between each letter. I then just copy pasted the word, inserted the location, and added some hearts for a final touch. On to our next look. I started by writing however you need just, which is a part of the poem in the picture, and then I selected my text. I held my right thumb on the purple color and my left thumb on the text cursor. I slid both of my fingers at the same time to the left until I got a rainbow effect. This can take a few tries, but I really like the results. Next, I wrote the word bloom with one of the fonts on Instagram, and I started adding little dots around the word with a gradient effect. And that was it. This is pretty simple yet very sophisticated and pretty for your Insta stories. Look number 5. When writing my quote, I decided to use the less than and greater than symbols because it just gives it a more aesthetic look to it. For this quote, I just simply decided to write "there is normally," and I used a box as a background. I just wrote beauty. I erased the middle part and I wrote beauty again, but using one of the fonts from Instagram. And then to just complete it, I drew a line across. Finally, I wrote in everything using one of the fonts on Instagram and a box again as a background. As you can probably tell, I like using different types of fonts, incorporating symbols, using lines, curves, and dots, and that's why this case is not the exception. As you can tell, I drew my silhouette with a bunch of dots from bigger to smaller. Number 6. In this picture, I went for a neon spiral effect. Next thing I did was fill in the tree with circles of different sizes and colors. Afterwards, I just wrote fun and I inserted one of those little boxes. Then I wrote they. And I wrote they again, but with a different font. To finish it off, I just added one of those thingies that Instagram has for the weather, and that was it. Number 7, and one of my favorite ones. To begin this look, I just drew some lines of different colors. Then I just typed in upside, and I did it 2 times so that one text would be over the other and it would make a shadow effect. After doing this, I just wrote down each letter separately and with different colors. After doing that, I just drew some lines around my silhouette with different colors to make a trippy effect. Number 8. This one is very simple, but it looks like you put in a lot of effort. You start by writing a word letter by letter, and then you put it around something. In this case, I did it around me. Then I decided to go for a gradient look using the colors in the picture. Once I was done with that, I just went for a little doodle and I drew a sun at the top of the mountain. In this part, I just wrote the word in and then I decorated it with some dots. I tried to make it look like light bulbs just because I thought it would be a cute idea, but I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. Look number 9. For this look, because I was surrounded by nature, I had the idea of adding like a little animal emoji and making it look as if it was in motion. So I decided to go for a bee and then add a spiral to it. Once I was done with that, I just added 2 leaves to complete the look. As usual, I have to add a text or something because that's just me. And so I just simply added the word nature separately with different colors, and yeah, that was it. Tenth and last look. I drew a line with one of the colors in the picture. Then I just wrote beach, each letter separately like I usually do. But this time around I matched the background of each letter to the line so that it would look as if it was a part of it. I like this idea a lot because I just feel like it gives it that little extra something. I put a few dots here and there. In this part, I just chose to draw sun. And now, to complete the final look, I just wrote day and I put it inside the sun.
That was it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Until next time, bye!